This is Sports Sound.
That is a beautiful finish!
From BBC Radio Scotland.
Welcome to Almond Vale for a game of massive significance at both ends of the table. Livingston without a win since August, that their only one of the Premiership campaign, and seemingly heading straight back to the Championship unless they can mount a comeback to trump all comebacks. And no, victories are what they require. Even a point today would be a huge fillip and a huge blow to Rangers, who need 3 points to aid their own cause of regaining the Premiership title. It's a packed stadium here, 3/4 full of Rangers fans by the looks of it, as the two captains make their way back towards their respective teammates after the coin toss. And referee Ryan Lee makes his way to the centre spot with a match ball. Rangers in one of their change kits of I actually don't know what colour to call that. It's kind of like a dark grey maybe, or a bit of bluishness in that as well, but a different blue from their traditional home kit certainly. And Livingston as usual in the gold tops, black shorts and gold socks. Rangers will kick us off, going from left to right as we look at it from the back of the main stand. Nico Raskin, as he normally does, is going to be the man who will roll the ball back to get us underway once the referee is set, and once he gets the signal from the side of the park from the TV colleagues of ours. It's a huge game, a game in which both sides could really do with a victory. Rangers, of course, heavy favourites to do that. They haven't lost here since 2018. In fact, they've won a good number of those last 7 visits, as the referee does get us underway. And it's back with John Souttar, who sends it out to the right-hand side with a good leap from Christian Montano to get above James Tavernier up towards Robbie Muirhead. But Souttar takes the ball off him and rolls it back to Jack Butland, who in turn just plays it short to Imani Fernandez. He and Nico Raskin playing the ball between each other. Bit better communication than there was in the lead up to the goal at Ibrox last weekend that gave Hearts such a good start. Here's Tavernier back in the starting lineup in place of Dujon Sterling, clipping it forward. Danny Wilson gets his head to it, and it's picked up by Danso in the middle of the park. He plays it to his right to Finlayson. Finlayson just checks back under a bit of pressure there from Gassama. Back to Jerome Prior, who plays it first time left-footed over the halfway line, won by Fernandez. Chukwani is pressurised there by Pittman, and the ball breaks out to the left-hand side. Romans won't quite keep that in, and it will be a throw-in to Livingston over on the far side. Kevin Thompson alongside me here for the commentary. Kevin, I mean, both managers talked about the start they wanted to make. I suppose it's one thing wanting it, another thing getting it all together, but you do expect Rangers to try and come out the traps here, surely.
Yeah, but you also probably expect a wee bit of composure, Al. Do you know what I mean? It's a bit of hot tatty. People are just, almost sparring as such. Good, great pass from Nico Raskin into Mikey Moore there, but they're probably just sensing each other out at the moment, Al.
Here is Raskin again after that good ball forward. Now it's Scholl-Olsen. Back to Chukwani, to the January signings combining now out to Tavernier, right hand side, sends it back post. Too much on that cross from James Tavernier, and harmlessly behind for the goal kick.
An intriguing bit for me, Al, is how do Livingston get up the pitch, really? You think Muirhead, he's going to have John Souttar and Fernandez. I don't know which one it looks at the moment that he's going to play on John Souttar. He might feel as though he's got a wee edge when it comes to speed in behind John Souttar than he does have on Fernandez. You've obviously got Lewis Smith, who's got blistering speed, probably more occupying a slightly wider area. But how are this Livingston team going to really hurt Rangers back four?
Muirhead also probably got a better chance in the air against Souttar winning the flick-ons, you would imagine, as Livingston have it on the left-hand side. Montano, who got a double here in a crazy game against Celtic, in which they eventually lost 4-2. Wilson at the back for Cabangolo, and out to the right-hand side. He gets a neat 1-2 there with Finlayson, and now in field for Tate out to the left flank, and Well, Tavernier just missed it, and that almost put Montagno off as well, and it skids beyond both of them and out for a throw into Rangers just in front of Danny Rowell's dugout. The Rangers manager with his arms folded in a big puffer jacket against the elements here. Dry day, sunny, a little bit windy and still pretty chilly as Dancel picks up in the middle of the park, and he's pressurised by Chermiti, and he goes back the way to Prior, who you would imagine will be called upon to have a pretty inspirational game if Livingston are to take anything from the match. Here's Wilson now down the left channel. Suter's completely missed that, and Muirhead again surprised by that, didn't manage to take advantage, and it's all the way through to Jack Butland, who gets it out to Fernandez, who'll bring it forward. Has to be said that Rangers, although they've won twice against Livingston, there was an element of fortune about both victories. Certainly the one here when Max Aarons scored in injury time to win it, and in the game at Ibrox again it was 2-1, and there was a penalty that Livingston were denied. There's a ball into the box, Chermiti, a poor touch, and it's into the arms of Jerome Prior. Well, he either has to take a better touch there, Kevin, or hit it first time. In the end he did neither. Yeah,
it's a brilliant ball for Roman, just down the left side. I'm actually surprised how high Livingston's back line was there, but they obviously don't think that Chermiti or Mikey Moore or probably Skov Olsen are they're going to run away for them. But just a loose touch for Chermiti there, a real big chance.
It certainly was, and the ball in from Romans was a terrific one, as you see. Gassama's picked up possession in a good area. Romans is going to get it here from Chukwani at the byline. That's not such a good ball in, and Kabangolo is able to sweep it away down the right hand side. Fernandez will get there ahead of Muirhead, and he plays it back the way where Raskan's come back to just help tidy up, and he plays it back to Jack Butland. We've played almost 5 minutes, no goals. We'll keep you up to date with any goals that go in at Celtic Park as the home side take on Hibernian. It's Livingston Rangers for us here as Gassama spins away and plays it out to the right to Tavernier. It's pretty blustery out there, the conditions not helping the players in that regard, but Scott Olsen trying to get the better of Montagno. He gets the cross in, it comes off McGowan and loops over his own crossbar for a Rangers corner, first of the afternoon.
Yeah, real good area as well. Going on his right side, Skov Olsen. Actually good play for James Tavernier. Probably didn't quite get his foot through it enough, does Skov Olsen, but still in a good area. A difficult one to defend for Ryan McGowan. So it will be Skov Olsen, the left-footed player on the right-hand side for Rangers to take the corner. He plays it short, or back the way to Mikey Moore. Mikey Moore now from the angle, sends it to the back post. The header comes in, brilliant save off the post, and behind from Finlayson. It was two Romans who met at the back post. It's a really well worked set piece from Rangers, which they've done so well since their set piece coach came in, Scott Fry, in the middle of the season. And that was another one that almost came off Kevin Thompson. Wow, what a save, Al. What a save for Pryor in goal. Greatly worked for Rangers. Short one back to Mikey Moore, as you mentioned, and Romans coming at the back post.
This one's a more traditional ball in, and Fernandez over the top with the header in the 6-yard boxes. It was clipped into the area by Scott Olsen and over the top from the defender, but Rangers threatening in the early stages. But after 6 minutes, it's Livingston 0, Rangers 0.
I don't know who it was, Al, that ended up knocking it out for the corner. I think it might have been
Finlayson,
Danny Finlayson.
Yeah.
He was so close to putting in his own net. So what a save, what a header. Brilliant work, short corner.
Yeah, it was a close thing, but no goal, so still 0-0. But here's Mikey Moore after the flick on from Chermiti, angle of the box, right hand side, matched by Kabangolo for now. He's looking for Tavernier there, but he misplaced his pass, but Raskan will pick up instead. Right hand side, slides it down the line for Tavernier. It's still in play, now it's Scott Olsen. Plays it to Fernandez. Fernandez will shuffle it out to the left hand side to Romans, who plays it into Chermiti and then makes the run forward, but he comes back the way instead to Chukwani. Now Fernandez back to Chukwani in the middle of the park. Fernandez once more, he's on the left hand side, plays it infield to Mikey Moore. Moore back to Fernandez again. Now he clips it forward looking for Chermiti. It's going to hang up in the wind there. Chermiti manages to prevent it going out for a goal kick, and then Romans makes the challenge, putting Danny Wilson under pressure here, and he's seemed to win the ball there, but Danny Wilson has been awarded the free kick and maybe gets a little bit lucky there because he was under increasing pressure from the Belgian fullback.
Yeah, I think he does well initially, Danny Wilson. Probably a wee bit hard done by Romans, just a coming together. good clever run initially just to create the space in behind for Shermiti.
Free kick then to Livingston, to be taken by the goalkeeper Jerome Prior, who's already pulled off a fabulous save to deny Tour Romans the opening goal. Fernandez gets his head to it. Pittman and Chukwani contest the aerial ball, played forward down the right hand side by Livy, but Fernandez just knocks that back to Jack Butland at the edge of his 6-yard box. It's John Souttar, square to Fernandez. Marvin Bartley trying to get some instructions onto his side there from the small technical area here at Amon Vale, as Butland plays it out to the left to Fernandez. Fernandez forward for Chermiti, who's come pretty deep, matched by Danso. Back to Butland it goes. There's a short pass out to Raskan. Raskan's got time here to begin to bring it forward. Plays it into a central area for Moore, and now back with Tavernier right hand side. He clips it forward. Chermiti makes the run. Cabangolo's there with him. Chermiti slips, and that allows Cabangolo just to play the ball down the left hand side, but it's straight to Tavernier, who chests it down and tries to find Moore. Doesn't quite get there, breaks back to Tavernier, who gets it back from Chukwani once more, and then plays it from the halfway line all the way back to Jack Butland. 9 minutes in, no goals at Celtic Park between Celtic and Hibs either, as the title race really heats up. The Hearts doing the business yesterday at Tynecastle against Falkirk. Gassama's lost it midway in the halfway line, but Rangers have it back once more as Raskan playing in that deeper role again in the midfield. Slips it out to the right hand side for Souttar. Souttar forward for Skålson. Danish international back to Souttar again. Takes a chance there against Robbie Muirhead, who's not giving him an easy time of it, but it will be a free kick to Rangers as Robbie Muirhead makes his feelings known there to the fourth official. Did look to be kind of grappling with Souttar, but eventually the referee awarding the free kick in Rangers' favour. Right in the halfway line, just a yard or so in from the right touchline, as Tavernier sends it square across to Fernandez, just inside his own half now. Raskan just dropping into the area between the two centre-backs to pick up possession, almost quarterback-like. Then plays it to his left-hand side here for Fernandez on the halfway line. Forward it goes, a poor pass from Fernandez though. Danso forward now to Smith. Muirhead makes the run, slips it for Tate. Tate now for Muirhead, coming to the edge of the box, can he get the shot off here? He can, but it's straight at Jack Butland. But a warning there for Rangers. Livingston aren't here just to make up the numbers.
Yeah, brilliant counter-attacking play out. You know, initially clever interception for Danso, clever pass to Lewis Smith, and then he just pops out at Muirhead. Probably a difficult angle, to be fair to him, but certainly know that he's more than capable with that left peg he has, Robbie Muirhead.
Yeah, it's certainly a weapon in his armoury that has caused opposition teams problems in the past, but on that occasion it was straight at Butland and he was able to deal with it fairly.
Fair to him, but certainly know that he's more than capable with that left peg he has, Robbie Muirhead. Yeah, it's certainly a weapon in his armoury that has caused opposition teams problems in the past, but on that occasion it was straight at Butland and he was able to deal with it fairly comfortably. Played about 11 minutes here at Amon Vale. No goals between Livingston and Rangers. Rangers starting the day 5 points behind Hearts with this game in hand. It's Chukwani back to Fernandez. Now Raskan just nudges it back to Jack Butland once more. Danny Rule was keen to get an early goal to help settle. It'll be Romans to take it. And it remains after just over 12 minutes. Livingston 0, Rangers 0. He does brilliant, Cabangolo out. A real brave header, early ball in for left hand side of John Souttar is somewhere that they can exploit.
Lewis Smith is there just before Souttar. Souttar penalised for just catching Smith, who got to the ball first, and Livy will have a free kick about 20 yards inside the Rangers half, and Montano just checking on Smith. He's fine, he's up on his feet. And Robbie Muirhead will come back and take this free kick. It's too far out even for a man of his capabilities with a dead ball. And you can see the ball rolling as he tries to plant it on the artificial turf here, so it gives you an idea of how windy it is. We will take this now and clip it into a sort of back post area, and the shot comes in, it's a goal! What a finish that is! That looks like Cabangolo, who's rifled it past Jack Butland. What a stunning finish, and what a stunning start to this game as Livingston shocked Rangers with the opener from Cabangolo. It's a sublime strike, and it's Livingston 1, Rangers 0.
Wow. I actually didn't think Robbie Muirhead had put enough on it. It almost looked as though he just waited for them to nonchalantly trot up, but Cabangolo, wow. Connection, quality, absolute rocket. Down to Jack Butland's left, absolutely no chance in goal. What a start for Livingston after having to soak up a wee bit of pressure. But Marvin will be absolutely delighted at that. Perfect start, really.
It's a sensational strike from Cabangolo. He just could not have caught it any sweeter. We saw some marvellous goals in the Premiership yesterday, but that one was as sweet as any of them. Clipped towards the back post area, but Cabangolo just catches it flush on the volley and rifles it past Jack Butland, and it's his first Livingston goal, and what a strike it was from the big centre back. And it's Livingston 1, Rangers 0 in the early stages here, and precisely the opposite of the type of start Rangers and Danny Rule wanted to make. A bit of adversity here to deal with. How will they deal with that? As Fernandes now has it, they've looked to respond quickly here as it's played down the left hand side for Mikey Moore. Moore just outside the box up against Finlayson. He'll try and get this in, perhaps. Now he knocks it back to Chukwani, finds a yard of space, then he's closed down by Danso, and it's going to be a free kick to Rangers just outside the box, just a yard or so outside the box in a fairly central area. And if Rangers were looking to get back on level terms quickly, this is a prime opportunity for them to do so. James Tavernier will certainly fancy this one.
Yeah, it's right in James Tavernier's territory. Just think they're coming together. I actually thought he was going to pull the trigger, Chukwuani, and he just took a heavy touch, just run away from him, which allowed Danso just to have that wee nibble. Obviously Chukwuani got there first. A real dangerous area for Livingston to now deal with this.
Andrew Scholes also looks interested. So I'm not sure if he's going to be able to pull rank. I think James Tavernier certainly is the captain and scorer of many an important free kick for Rangers over the years. Will surely get first dibs on this, and it probably just about favours the right footer there, just slightly left to centre, Kevin. So, but it's like 19 yards out, so it's one of those, can he get it up and down quickly enough?
Yeah, that's the key. That's what I was thinking in my head. It's obviously probably a yard or two close to get real whip on it, but he's certainly got the quality, James Tavernier.
It is James Tavernier, saved by Prior, comes back to Fernandes and over the bar, and the rebound. It's another good save from Prior. Tavernier caught it well, and diving to his left, the French goalkeeper keeps it out, and Fernandes couldn't keep the rebound down, and it remains Livingston 1, Rangers 0 after 16.5 minutes here.
Yeah, the second phase one wasn't an easy one for Fernandes. I just think he goes safe side. James Tavernier, Prior in goals, I think he's always going that way. I think the only way you could have got that in the net was to up and down quickly over the wall.
So still the bottom side lead by a goal to 0 at Almond Vale. Last time they beat Rangers here, it was Dolly Menga who got that winner back in September 2018. Rangers looking to ensure history doesn't repeat itself this afternoon as they desperately need the victory. Gassama can't thread the ball through, and Pittman just whacks it forward as Suter backpedals and heads it down to Fernandes before Muirhead can close him down. Chukwani just takes his eye off the ball but manages to keep it in. Romans chips it forward. Cabangolo's there, but Romans helps it once more. And again, Danso has fouled Chukwani just outside the box, and the Livingston players protest, but I mean Chukwani was caught square in the face there as Danso was just slightly late getting to the ball, and Rangers will have another free kick this time over on the left-hand side, about 25 yards from the goal line, and another opportunity to try and do something from the set piece as they try to get back on level terms.
I actually think he's a wee bit unlucky there, Danzo. Just coming together. Actually, it almost felt as though they almost got there at the same time. Obviously a free kick. Chukwuani's momentum going through, but a wee bit hard done. But I actually thought he was maybe going to get a yellow card there, Danzo, which would have put him in a difficult position, being right in the middle of the engine room. A lot of comings together.
Yeah, I mean, it was certainly a challenge he couldn't pull out of. He absolutely had to go for it, and you're pretty much spot on. It probably did get there more or less at the same time. The referee decides Chukwuani just edged it, and so it's Scott Olsen over the free kick on the left-hand side. As Rangers get plenty bodies into the box, can one of them get on the end of this? Raskan might have got a glance on it, but he couldn't direct it goalwards, and McGowan will pick up and play it down the left for Muirhead. Muirhead just whacks it forward. Romans is in the way in the central area. Then McGowan first to it, back forward again by Romans, and Mikey Moore helping it on. It's Raskan who stayed forward. Chermiti onto it now. He's slipped again. That's the second time. He might want to check his footwear as Tavernier picks up, and Tavernier has been penalised on the right hand side here as Muirhead went down, and Livingston get the free kick midway inside their own half.
The home fans are loving it as well, aren't they? These comments together. A lot of big Ryan McGowan initially going and winning that header, and then it gets popped back in. Then Danny Finlayson has one. I don't know what Shermitty's got on his feet. It's not often you see, unless it's obviously torrential rain. Looks like we've got a problem in goal out.
Yeah, Jerome Prior stretching something off. The referee just checking on him, but he doesn't want any physio just now, so it will be the free kick to be taken by Danny Wilson against his former side, as they lead by a goal to nil against title chasing Rangers. And Hearts fans listening in will be rubbing their hands in anticipation, but they know there's a long way to go. Still 0-0 at Celtic Park between Celtic and Hibs as well. Hearts fans looking for their city rivals to do them a favour against their title rivals today, as Montagno will get a throw in here on the left hand side. In fact, he's going to leave it to Muirhead, who's got a long throw on him, and that is the cue for Cabangolo, the goal scorer, and among others, to move into the penalty area. Danny Wilson's up there. Ryan McGowan stayed back as Rangers leave two players forward in Scott Olsen and Gassama. In comes the throw into the near post area. Suter gets his head to it. Returned by Wilson. Livingston trying to make something of it at the edge of the box. It'll break out to the left. Chermiti unsure whether to try and keep that in or see it out. I'm not sure who it came off last, but the assistant referee signals for a Rangers throw-in deep in their own territory, quickly taken by Romans, and he's closed down after he got the ball back from Fernandez, and it's out for another Rangers throw. Still about 20 yards away from the corner flag. Plays it into the feet of Chermiti, who spins away from one player, but then well, he's quite fortunate there because he'd given the ball away, but referee thought he was fouled as he played the pass, and so Rangers get the free kick, which is quickly taken to Raskan. Out to Tavernier now, just inside his own half still. Plays it back to John Suter. Rangers haven't been beaten domestically since they lost at Tynecastle. 12 domestic games without a defeat. They cannot afford to slip up at this stage, as Fernandez has it now. And they've got a massive game next Sunday at home to Celtic, but they need to get this job done today as well, and they trail by a goal to nil as Fernandez plays a loose ball forward. It's a floaty one, and easy for Prior to come off his line and take, and he's immediately launched it forward for Smith here. Fernandez trying to get back at him. Smith on the right hand side of the box. Fernandez just kind of seemed to lose his footing and did enough to hold Smith up. Back it comes to Finlayson. The ball into the box is headed away by Chukwuani. Then Romans helps it on, and Gassama knocks it out of play. But the home fans, as you say, Kevin, they're very much loving this as they look for just a second win of the season.
There's a lot of space, Al, obviously, in behind the Rangers defence, but what a kick for the goalkeeper. Left peg, absolutely lasered, side volley. If you ever want to see a technique for a goalkeeper to play forward, Lewis Smith on his bike, brilliant.
Midway through the first half then, and it's Livingston leading by a goal to nil. A goal scored by Brooklyn Cabangolo, and a very, very good goal it was at that. A sweet volley from a Robbie Muirhead free kick, and it's Livingston coming forward here with Pittman almost at the byline. He's played it off Romans, and Livingston have the corner kick as they look to earn themselves a 2-goal advantage. And Rangers pulling everyone back here, including Chermiti, to defend this corner. Will be taken over on that right-hand side by Muirhead from the left foot. Plenty of aerial threats in the box for Livingston as it's swung in back post. It's swung beyond everyone, in fact. Macaulay Tate at the back post, I think it was in the end, who couldn't help it back forward. In fact, it was Danny Wilson who just couldn't stretch and get it back across goal. And so Rangers have taken the goal kick quickly and need an equaliser as Chermiti gets there just ahead of McGowan. Then plays a loose pass though, and it's picked up by Danso into the feet of Montano, out to the left for Smith. Tavernier steps in and just pokes it forward, and it's out of play for a Livingston throw-in. Pretty much in line with the penalty area, their own penalty area here on this left-hand side. Livingston leading by a 1-0. Ryan Lee telling Livingston to get a move on slightly as they just try and waste a few seconds, leading by a 0, hoping for a precious victory here this afternoon as Tavernier wins the header from the throw-in. Picked up by Gassama. Suter all the way back to Butland. He was closed down. Hibernian have gone goal up at Celtic Park, which is good news in some regard for Rangers, but they need to get the victory themselves in order to take advantage of that. I'll tell you who it is good news for is Hearts, for sure, with both their title rivals losing currently. Rangers losing here 1-0 to Livingston, and Hibs just gone in front at Celtic Park. Livingston have the throw-in down the right-hand side. It's Romans who brings it under control though and plays the ball square just inside his own half to Tavernier. Tavernier forward looking for the run of Scholes, and he's put too much on that though. No chance for Scholes to get on that. Felix Paslak got the Hibernian goal. Might be his first for the club off the top of my head. Certainly January signing who looks to have added quality to the Hibernian squad. Prior knocks the ball out to the left-hand side for Montano. He helps it on for Smith. Suter returns it over the halfway line, won by the goal scorer Cavangolo. Suter has to backpedal. Will head that off his arm? Well, Muirhead claims for a handball. I think it wouldn't have been given as a deliberate handball in any case as he headed it down onto his own arm. But here's Gassama at the other end coming forward down the left-hand side. Pulled back, and he's going to get the free kick. Again, he's a little bit fortunate as Danny Finlayson goes into the book for the pull back, but it was a misplaced pass from Gassama, but he was being impeded by Finlayson, and it's the first yellow card of the game for Danny Finlayson.
He's a hard one to stop, Gassama, when he gets into full flow. He just doesn't do it often enough for me out. He just kind of floats in and out of games, but he's got so much quality, so much speed. I know there's a little bit, there's hardly any space in front of the Livingston rear guard, but he certainly doesn't do enough. At times, Gassama, such an exciting talent when he lands on the ball. He's a difference maker. He's the one that you want on the ball.
It's going to be a free kick there midway inside the Livingston half left-hand side. Tavernier and Scholes are over it. It'll be Tavernier to send it into the area. Pittman gets the first contact and heads it out to the right-hand side. Smith will try and keep it in. Has he managed to do so? Yeah, I think so. It's picked up by Tavernier, sends it back in. Muirhead gets his knee to it and knocks it out of play over on the far side for a Rangers throw. Midway inside the Livy half once more. Gassama's just going to leave this for two Romans to come forward and take. Still 1-0 Livy as Gassama has it left-hand side, about 10 yards from the byline. Sends it into the area, flicked on by Moore. Can Fernandez get there? No, he can't is the answer as Prior dives in it on his 6-yard line and preserves his side advantage with 27 minutes on the clock. It's a surprise scoreline here for Amon Vale. Livingston leading by a 0 as Prior launches it over the halfway line. Suter gets his head to it. Chukwani there as well, just heads it up in the air. Pittman gets to it there. Now it's Lewis Smith on the right hand side. Inside Fernandez on a recovery challenge here by two Romans to knock it out of play as Smith turned Fernandez inside out, and Romans had to make that challenge just before Smith pulled the trigger, because that could have been 2-0 very easily.
Oh, it's a brilliant tackle, Albert. Brilliant play for Lewis Smith. Initially brilliant for Pittman. He just gets up and top and wins that first contact, and then he does brilliant to chop back inside in his left peg, Lewis Smith. But as you mentioned, Al, brilliant recovery defending for Romans. Rangers are on the rocks here.
They are a bit as Muirhead prepares to take another corner from the right hand side. Livingston looking for a second goal here. It's a good ball in, but it's right on top of Butland. No real pressure on him. And Rangers continue to trail by a goal to nil. Some visiting fans not happy with something they're seeing. Probably the fact that their side are losing by a goal to nil against the bottom side, a team that looks destined for relegation. But not if they can hold on to this scoreline till the end. Maybe that would give them the boost they need. Chermiti with a little dummy, doesn't come off though. Livingston hack it clear. It's going to be picked up by Suter, who chests it down midway inside the Livy half. Out to the right hand side now to Tavernier. Scholes, and he's not been involved enough, but can he create something here? Montano gets back. It's going to be a corner kick. What? Well, the referee has pointed to the goal kick. Surely the assistant is like a yard away from the cross coming in, Kevin. Surely he spots the Montano touch on that.
Yeah, I think it was almost impossible for the deviation on the ball to go where Skov Olsen kicked it. You know, it was a clear block. I'm not so sure how the official don't see that. A let off for Livingston.
Douglas Ross making himself even less popular as Nico Raskan plays it forward. A nice layoff this time from Chermiti. Gassama's gone offside, but Moore continues his run. It's Moore from the edge of the box. Oh, what a save from Prior. Well, I said he was going to have a fantastic game if Livingston were going to take something. Well, he's pulled out 3 top drawer saves already this afternoon. That was absolutely fantastic to deny Mikey Moore. Rangers corner. Scholes to take this one on the right hand side. It was really full stretched stuff from Prior. Scholes into the back post. It's Gassama. Fernandez, can he get a shot off here? He's 12 yards out, trying to get room for the shot. Eventually he just slips, and then he gets it back to Romans. Romans sends it back post. Chermiti's there, comes to Scholes and tries to play it across goal. Rangers fans claim for a handball, but it was off the shoulder if anything, and it's out for another Rangers corner. Better stuff from Rangers. They need to make more of this pressure though. They need to make it count. As Scholes lines up another corner from the right hand side, swings it into the back post, and it's Cavangolo, the goal scorer, who heads it clear. Be picked up by Roman's left hand side, sends it back in. Suter's still up there, he gets his head to it. Who's he going to break to? Livingston get it half clear. Tavernier now on the edge of the box, tries to get it back in, can't do so. Montano helps it forward, and now Robbie Muirhead will pick up, and now Livingston can come forward, and it's Lewis Smith against Tavernier, who reads it well and wins possession on the right hand side. Slides it forward for Chermiti. McGowan in the way though, and Montano has it, quickly closed down by Chermiti, and that's going to be a Rangers throw in. But let's go back to that save from Prior just a minute or so ago, Kevin, from the Mikey Moore effort. It was just top class, wasn't it?
Ah, sensational. It really was. It was destined for the top corner off of Mikey Moore. It was brilliant centrally just to shift it, get back on that right peg. It's just come alive a wee bit, the game, isn't it? Just a wee bit nippy tucky, couple coming together, loads of balls in the box, couple corners for Rangers.
Raskan now forward. Romanson coming to a central area, knocks it back the way. Chukwani goes to retrieve it. Now Raskan again, just about on the halfway line, plays it to his right to Suter. Still Livingston lead by a goal to nil. Hibs leading by a goal to nil at Celtic Park. Could turn out to be a very good afternoon for Hearts, sitting with their feet up, having beaten Falkirk 1-0 yesterday with a 5-point advantage at the top of the table. Here's Fernandez, about 10 yards inside Livy half. Livy with everyone behind the ball as it's played square to Suter. Suter, can he find the pass? No, he can't. Cavangolo knocks it clear. He's having a really good game, quite apart from his fantastic goal that separates the sides. He's playing well defensively, which is his main job. Fernandez now again, just inside the Livy half. Shot for Raskan. Raskan quickly closed down by Lewis Smith, who Kevin pinpointed as a key player for Livy, and he's having a good game himself. Yes. Fernandez once again picks up. It's going to be a loud possession at this stage until the halfway line. Then Livy look to close down. Now Raskan takes over. Suter closed down by Muirhead, plays it square to Fernandez. Livingston just keeping in a shape. Marvin Bartley said they had a game plan. Could they execute it? They're doing well so far. It's Gassama though coming forward. Scholes, and he's got Tavernier edge of the box. Tavernier looks to get the shot off. Prior stops it. That was straight at him, but still a decent save. Scholes again for Tavernier. Looks like he's overcooked it. Tavernier, can he catch it? No, he can't. It's out for a goal kick, and it's still Livingston 1, Rangers 0 after almost 33 minutes played.
Yeah, they just had him a wee bit stretched there. did Rangers. I have to say, Al, that the work for Danso, for Pittman, for Tate, listen, they're all working hard, of course they are, but you know, Robbie Muirhead up front, Lewis Smith we mentioned a few times, but that midfield three specifically, you know, the industrious work they're doing, nipping at people's heels, they've been really competitive so far for Livingston.
Danny Wilson has it, plays it short to Danso just outside his penalty area, forward into the feet of Smith, nice link up, Muirhead for Macaulay Tate, back goes Raskin and just takes it off the on loan midfielder's toes. And then Scholl Olsen forwards, a good ball for Mikey Moore. Mikey Moore tries to lift it over Prior. It's not a bad idea, but I don't think the wind would have helped him there, and it drifts just wide of target, and still Rangers trail by a goal to nil. And the longer it goes, the more desperate they become in that quest for, at the very least, an equaliser. But in truth, they need more than that. They need a couple of goals to take all 3 points. Livingston still holding on to the 1 goal advantage for the moment as Prior takes the goal kick up towards the halfway line. Romans wins it above Pittman, and it'll be picked up by Gassama here on the left hand side. The Rangers fans do want more from him, as Kevin was suggesting. He is capable without doubt, but can he provide something here? Pittman closing him down. He goes back to Romans left hand side, back to Gassama again, about 15 yards from the byline. He's up against Finlayson here. Can he take him on? A couple of feints one way then the other, gets to the byline, stands up to the back post. Tavernier's there, nods it into the 6-yard box, but Wilson hoofs it clear. Suter keeps his eye on it, heads it down to Raskin, and now it's with Fernandez. The Rangers fans urging their side on as they look for an equaliser. It's Romans left hand side, back into Fernandez. He's going to go for goal here. It's a decent effort, but a comfortable save in the end for Jerome Prior, a side-footed effort from about 30 yards there, and it's still Livingston 1, Rangers 0, with about 10 minutes remaining in this first period. Prior with the ball at his feet, knocks it long. Tavernier rises, helped on by Raskin, who goes down holding his face. He's back up, and the referee belatedly gives the free kick. It was Tate who jumped with him, and just a quick check there from the referee on Raskin as Macaulay Tate says, I don't think I did much wrong there. Free kick quickly taken by Suter out to Gassama left hand side. Question marks over whether he was onside, but play continues as he picks up on the left of the penalty area. He's up against Kamangolo here, takes it to the byline again, low ball in, and Chukwani just unable to turn it into the back of the net as a Livingston defender got the block in and takes it behind for a corner. The Rangers' pressure is continuing, Kevin, but they've not been able to find that equaliser yet.
Yeah, that's more like it for Gassama though, Al. That's, you know, he's went on the outside of Danny Finlayson, he's stuck one up at the back post and never come to much for James Tavernier, and that time, you know, getting down outside again. I think he's certainly one that you wanted. The Rangers want the ball on Gassama and Mikey Moore, that's for sure.
Tavernier's corner to the near post, it's glanced on, but no Rangers player can get onto the second ball, and then there's a free kick given to Livingston for a foul on Macaulay Tate that time inside the 6-yard box, and the pressure is relieved on the Livingston back line. They lead by a goal to nil. Still Hibernian leading at Celtic Park as well. It will be 2 somewhat surprising results if they end up that way, with just under 10 to play in the respective first periods. Prior preparing to take this free kick. No wins in 27 for Livingston, remember, and 25 of them have come in the Premiership. It's the longest run without a victory since Morton, all the way back in 87-88 when they went 28 games, and would you believe they ended it with a victory over Rangers.
And it's amazing now that they're not playing like a team that's sit at the bottom of the league. I'm not so sure Rangers have got out of first gear yet, but I have to say, you know, when you think of first contact, second balls, you know, playing the game really, and then being clinical when that opportunity comes, like what we spoke about, you know, being clinical in both boxes. Livingston they've done that terrifically well so far, albeit there's a long way to go.
Livingston again organised behind the ball as Chukwani picks up just at the edge of the centre circle, plays it square for Raskin into the feet of Scholl Olsen. Fouled there by Ryan McGowan. The referee has a think and then gives the free kick to Rangers as Scholl Olsen remains down, and Ryan Lee just having a word there with Ryan McGowan saying no more of that. Rangers will have the free kick right hand side here as Sko Olsen picks himself up slowly, and I think he'll be interested in taking this free kick just a few yards in from the right touch line. Taverniers there as well with him. Rangers need their big players to step up here as they search for an equalising goal. Sko Olsen leaves it for Tavernier to take, sends it in, it's a good ball. Raskam was looking for it, but I think Pittman was first to it and knocks it out for a throw-in on this near side, down near the corner flag here, just a few yards away from it as Rangers press and try and ensure that they go in at half-time level rather than trailing by the goal to nil as they do now. Just about 6 to play in this first half. Tavernier's throw-in's a long one. Chermiti's up there, he wins it, and it comes off the head of Cabangolo and onto the roof of his own net. Rangers will have the corner. The goal scorer at the other end almost inadvertently putting that past his own keeper, but just a foot or so over the crossbar, and Rangers will get another corner kick here to be taken by Sko Olsen, right hand side. They were unlucky with the first corner kick that they worked on this right hand side, eventually hitting the post from it. This one comes right into the back post, a good ball but flicked away. Prior picking himself up as Romans comes forward, plays the ball off Tate. There'll be another corner kick, this time on the left hand side. Tate's gone down, always certainly whacked off him from pretty close range, but Livingston will be very, very keen, Kevin, obviously, to get to half time with the scoreline and the lead intact.
Yeah, I don't even know if they would have thought that as a game plan out. Obviously wanting to play in the counter-attack, they've got their noses in front through a brilliant set play, a brilliant finish, and there's no doubt that Marv, the experienced ones, when you think of Ryan McGowan, Danny Wilson, he'll be urging the boys just to stay tight, not to do anything silly.
Tavernier then from the left hand side, he's just been told to wait for the moment. Now the referee says he can continue. Tavernier then swings it in right into the 6-yard box again. A bit of confusion. Can Rangers force it home? Not yet. Who's it going to come to? Blocked on the line. Incredible defending as Chermiti got the last effort in there, and it comes out of the penalty area this time. It's Romans on the right hand side. Can he get the ball back into the danger area? Is behind, or is it even behind? No, it's not. Jerome Prior comes and takes that off the head of Christian Montagno, and Livingston survive what was an incredible passage of play. Somehow Rangers couldn't force it home, but that is just intense, and the desire to keep the ball out the back of the net there was incredible from Livingston. Still 1-0 they lead. Forward they come now down the right hand side. Rangers would have surely thought that was the moment as the ball was inside that 6-yard box, scrambling around as Fernandez is fouled there by Muirhead down on the byline at the other end, as Jack Butland says that he'll come and take the ball off Fernandez here from the free kick and plays it out to Suter. That was just sensational defending, Kevin.
I actually couldn't even see the ball out. There was that many bodies. I think it was Pittman eventually at the back post that makes a brilliant block. He's been absolutely everywhere, has Pittman today, and it just kind of sums up Rangers' first half. A real scramash, a scramble, a wee bit of sustained pressure for the first time with a few set plays coming into the box. It's obviously more windier than we think, Al, because a lot of balls are like floaty today. There's another one. I don't know if it's just the way they're kicking it, I don't know, but it doesn't feel so windy. But a lot of balls, Rangers in this first half, they've been floated in, they've tried to float them over the top, but it's certainly been a real lack of quality going forward, that's for sure.
Yeah, we are probably a bit sheltered from the force of the wind as Moore picks up right hand side here, coming out to take on Montagno. It's a poor effort across that from Mikey Moore, straight behind. He's so frustrated with himself for a poor ball. There's plenty of options in the box there, but it remains with 3 minutes left in its first period. Livingston 1, Rangers 0. And it's all going the way of the league's bottom side so far. 14 games at home without a win since that victory over Falkirk. They've drawn 5 and lost 9 in that period. Poorest home record in the division, which is not too surprising given the position they occupy, but you can certainly see there has been an uptick in performances since Marvin Bartley has taken over as Tavernier gives it away in the middle of the park, and then Smith picks up for Livy, away from Rascad. Souttar's undecided as to whether to come or go. It's Montano into the box, chance here for Livy, knocked over his own crossbar by Romans as Rangers struggle to ensure Livingston don't go into half-time with a 2-goal lead. Corner Livy.
Yeah, it's just sloppy play for James Tavernier. Al gives it away in the middle of the pitch, and that man Lewis Smith, whenever Livingston have went forward, he's been the one. We know he's got blistering speed. Clever ball, never really come. I think it was Romans in the end over his crossbar. But that angle, that side down John Souttar's side is certainly something that Livingston have tried to capitalise on.
Muirhead from the left-hand side this time. It'll be something of an outswinger. Arrowed to the back post. Montano rises but can't get it back. A cross goal, and it will be a Rangers goal kick with just about a couple of minutes, maybe 90 seconds plus injury time left in this first period. Rangers trailing by a 1-0. As Chukwuani's not really been on the ball. Chukwuani's not had an influence at all. Feeds it forward for Chermiti. He flicks on for Gassama. Gassama on the left hand side, trapped by Kabangolo, who's managed to keep the ball in, prevents the corner. Gassama still has it though on the left, back to Romans, and now Nico Rascan on the left hand side, midway inside the Livy half, back out to Gassama, up against Finlayson once more. Gassama, can he find the cross? In it comes. Chermiti's over him, and Prior comes off his line and grabs it, and ends the danger for the moment for Livingston, who look ever closer to taking that 1-goal advantage in at the interval, and with something to try and hold on to in the second half. But they have on occasion looked dangerous coming forward again themselves, as we hear there'll be 1 minute added on at the end of the 45 here. As Fernandes has it inside his own half, plays it short to Rascan, still 15 yards inside his own half, looks for options. Tavernier's free on the right hand side, here he is, into Chermiti's feet. Chermiti's surrounded by 2 or 3 Livingston bodies, goes back to Tavernier. Now it's Souttar still on the halfway line, looks for the movement here from Mikey Moore in the left channel now, coming forward up to the edge of the box. Still it's Moore on the left hand side of the box. He's got Romans with him, here he is to Romans, tries to get it into the box off the back of Finlayson. Rangers with perhaps one more chance here from the corner before half time on the left hand side. We're into the added on time now. Rangers a goal down at 12th place Livingston. Can they manage to snatch an equaliser here on the stroke of half time as Tavernier prepares to take the corner on the left hand side? And it comes to the 6-yard box again. Rangers can't really make anything of it, and Danso whacks it clear, and Romans will try and help it back in towards the Livingston box. Pittman's there first, and he gets it forward to Smith. Muirhead makes the run. He just can't quite get the ball through, but Romans penalised. It's 1 each at Celtic Park, as Benjamin Nugent once again is on the score sheet for Celtic, so that looks like going in level at half time. But this one looks like Livingston are going to have the advantage going into the second period. They've got a free kick more or less in the halfway line, as Romans was penalised for his challenge in Smith, and it was unfortunate because Muirhead had made a good run and he might have been in behind if Smith had been able to execute the pass. Livy take the free kick down the right hand side. That's a handball by Danny Finlayson, who has been booked, and I'm not suggesting that was a handball that merited another yellow, but he's just got to be mindful as the referee brings the first half to a close, and it's the main stand here at Livingston that rises in appreciation of what they've seen in the first half, because the home fans are delighted with the application and at times quality that has been shown by Livy, and certainly the quality that was involved in the goal that has made the difference after 14 minutes. It was a Robbie Muirhead free kick on the left hand side, flighted into the back post area, and it was arrowed into the bottom corner by a sweet volley, the first goal of his Livingston career for Brooklyn Kabangolo. That's made the difference. Rangers have forced a couple of really good saves from Jerome Prior, and they've hit the post into the bargain, but they haven't been able to find an equaliser. At half time here, it's Livingston 1, Rangers 0. We will rejoin listeners who are listening to the Celtic Hibs game for the last few minutes of the first half.
It's a recurring theme where good play but not being able to see things through.
Not keeping enough clean sheets this season.
There
was one last week, but it doesn't happen that often.
It's happened all too often for Hibs, where good play going unrewarded, really.
On the final minute, the 3 that were added, Celtic come again. Tenecti's chip forwards, headed away by the Hibs defence, breaks to McGregor. Now Araujo. Suddenly Celtic are looking to go in front at the break. Yang's ball, there's the touch by Oxlade Chamberlain. Araujo goes round the first defender. Iredale with the challenge, and Celtic have a corner.
Yeah, it was a strong challenge, wasn't it? But it was an important challenge because Araujo kept his run going and he got in down the byline between the 6-yard box and the 18, and all he was going to do is pick somebody out. But Iredale came across, strong body. He's taken a bit of a knock for it. He's down, and he's going to probably get a little bit of treatment.
I think he's just winded, Packet. You know, the two of them clattered into each other there.
He's okay. It was an important intervention because Celtic could have been looking at going 2-1 up there. They might still from this corner. We've played the 3 minutes that were added. A bit on top of that, of course, because of the goal. And it will be Kieran Tierney to take on the Celtic right as they tap the goal to the right for the last time in this half. And it comes to the near post. It's Poor, it's headed away. Breaks back to Tierney on this right-hand side. Left foot cross, bends it in. Can't find a teammate. Swings behind for the goal kick. Celtic 1, Hibs 1, but the atmosphere in here has changed.
Yeah, it has changed. You know, that's football. There's half-time.
Yeah, Backy will get a chance to surmise what he's watched. Across the half-time intervals, Matthew McDermott blows for the break here. Hibs led through Felix Paslak's first goal for the club. A bullet header at the back post as he dived towards it from Nicky Cadden's cross. But that equaliser felt big. Right on the stroke of half-time from Benjamin Nygren, who headed home the Tierney cross in the left from close range. And what had been a real sea of frustration for the home supporters. They end the first half with another late goal in the half of football, which might change the very course of where the points will end up going on the close of business this afternoon. In a game that Celtic must win, in a game Hibs want to win, is still very much in the balance at half-time, but it is Celtic 1, Hibernian 1.
Scottish football lives here.
This is Sports Sound.
That is a beautiful finish.
From BBC Radio Scotland. What makes Radio Scotland breakfast different?
For starters, our programme is made here in Scotland.
Every day you can have your say. Send us a message, a voice note on the topics which matter to you.
And if you want to have your say on the lighter things in life, well, that's okay too.
But what really makes every day different is the news. It's fast-paced, constantly changing, and we'll bring it to you in depth every morning.
Join Martin Geisler and Laura McKeever for Radio Scotland Breakfast. Listen tomorrow morning from 6 on BBC Radio Scotland and Sounds.
You're listening to Sports Sound with me, Richard Gordon, and as things stand, the live table shows Heart of Midlothian 5 points clear of both Rangers and Celtic, with Motherwell a further 5 points adrift. So 1-1 at half-time at Celtic Park at Amon Vale. It's 1-0 for Livingston against Rangers. Let's get a sum-up of the opening 45 minutes from Kevin Thompson and our commentator Al Lamont.
Yeah, shock scoreline, Amon Vale for sure. Rangers started the game well enough. 6 minutes in, they might have been in front, but for a brilliant save by Jerome Frior, the first of 2 or 3 actually from the Livy keeper. On that occasion, he tipped a Romans header onto the post to deny him. But Livingston were very much a threat as well. Muirhead had an effort, fairly comfortably saved, you'd have to say, by Jack Butland after 11 minutes. But 3 minutes later, Butland was picking the ball out of the back of the net. A Muirhead free kick on the left-hand side, floated into a sort of back post area inside the penalty area. A wonderful volleyed finish from Brooklyn Cabangolo to rifle it past Butland, who didn't see it flying past him, I don't think, as it found the bottom corner. And that was Cabangolo's first goal for Livy, and it could yet prove to be oh so vital. Beyond that, Rangers, I suppose, they had plenty of pressure. A couple of shots at goal. Tavernier had a free kick, reasonably well saved by Prior, but there was a fabulous save again from the Frenchman as he denied Mikey Moore. Just tried to tease the ball towards the top corner, and the Frenchman at full stretch tipped it away off target. 5 minutes before the interval, looked like Rangers would at last grab the leveller. There was an almighty scramble inside the 6-yard box. Chermiti had the final effort, but it was somehow blocked on the line, I think by Scott Pittman, as Livy preserved their advantage. And Kevin Thompson, you'd have to say, albeit Rangers have had loads of the pressure, but Livingston are pretty good value for that lead they have.
Yeah, I don't think it's through default, Al, at all. I think they've deservedly going at half-time in front. They've defended the box really well, bodies on the line. I think the midfield three, the energy, Pittman, Danso and Tate have been superb. And we mentioned at the top of the show, Lewis Smith, when he swivels on that counter-act transition and he swings on his left peg, and Robbie Muirhead's attacking John Souttar down on his outside, they look a real threat, Livingston. And I have to say, albeit the goalkeeper's made probably 2 worldies, I think would be fair to say. It would be great to watch them back later tonight, but Marvin will be absolutely delighted. And Rangers' perspective, Al, they've huffed and puffed. The front boys have not been good enough. They've not moved the ball quick enough. I understand conditions. To me, it doesn't feel that windy, but too many floated balls, not enough sustained pressure, not enough guile, craft in that final third. And at the moment, Marvin will be absolutely delighted for a Livingston perspective.
Yeah, he said they had a game plan. So far, they've executed it pretty much to perfection. You would imagine Rangers need to come up with one of their own in what is going to be a massive second half. Half-time, though, at Armand Vale, Livingston 1, Rangers 0.
Kevin, as you highlighted there, a couple of brilliant saves from Jerome Prior, a few other really important ones, but at the other end of the pitch, what about the finish from Brooklyn Cabangolo? It was outstanding, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was sensational. I mentioned obviously pre-show, Richard, that I felt that they would need to be really good in both boxes when that opportunity come. They would need to be really clinical, and I'm not so sure you get any more clinical. But they have been a threat. I think Lewis Smith chopping inside when Livingston counted on later on in the second half, and I think it was Romans that last ditch tackle. So it's not been as if like they've just had one opportunity, Livingston. Robbie Muirhead's first one probably quite comfortable for Jack Butland down his throat. But when the ball has turned over, they've had some nice interchanges in the middle of the pitch, albeit with the midfield three. And yes, attacking way obviously less numbers than what Rangers are, but I have to say, Marvin, the players, you could hear the home fans at the half-time when the referee blew the whistle there. They've certainly been value for their 1-0 lead.
Well, they've certainly had their moments at the top end of the pitch, Livingston. They have had to defend heroically at times, but they lead by 1-0. In the SWPL this afternoon, Aberdeen 0, Hibernian 3. Hibernian currently in 5th place. This, of course, the final round of fixtures before the split. There's just one place left in the top 6. Montrose are 1 point clear of Partick Thistle. The two will be in action this afternoon. Partick Thistle playing Hamilton. Sadly for Montrose, they are taking on Rangers. So you would have to fancy that Partick Thistle have the advantage there. So those games taking place, Motherwell against Glasgow City, and at 4:10 live in BBC Alapa, Celtic against Hearts. Glasgow City, of course, in that game against Motherwell. And as things stand, they have the advantage at the top of the table. 3 points clear of Hearts, 5 points clear of both Rangers and Celtic, with Hibernian possibly too far back, albeit there are a lot of head-to-heads when the split fixtures come round. Keep an eye on those matches in the English Premier League. Crystal Palace 1, Wolves 0. That's deep into stoppage time. Gisan with the only goal so far for the home side. Liverpool have just scored deep into stoppage time. Alexis McAllister had a goal disallowed in the 90th minute. He scored in the 7th minute of stoppage time. So it's Nottingham Forest 0, Liverpool 1. Also deep into stoppage time, Sunderland 1, Fulham 3. The 4:30 kickoff is Tottenham Hotspur against Arsenal. Right, let's get to events at Celtic Park. Pat Bonner, we talked about the difficulties Celtic might face if they went behind. Well, they did go behind, and they went behind to an excellently worked goal from the visitors Hibernian, didn't they?
Yeah, it was a brilliant goal. Beautiful goal. The cross was magnificent from Cadden, and there was, Paslak coming in on the blind side, Tonekti trying to deal with him, couldn't, and he got his header in from that far post area. But the cross that really made it fantastic cross. But that wasn't the only chance. The second chance was a huge chance. That there was a beautiful ball, inch perfect, a ball flighted over the head of Scales for Martin Boyle, who just got on his shoulder. And I thought Schmeichel did well on this occasion, Richard. He's been getting a bit of stick, obviously, recently, but he came out, spread himself, kept himself strong, big, and forced Martin Boyle maybe to take another touch, and the chance was gone. But if that had to go on, as Michael said in commentary, that could have changed this game completely. Celtic, I think the fans would have reacted very hostilely, and they kept at it, Celtic. They got their goal. And that, to me, was a very, very important goal. I did say beforehand that they needed a bit more penetration through the middle from midfielders and so on. And that man Negrin again getting in at almost about 4 yards out, just to knock the ball home, which was, and that's him. That's been his season all year. He's been working, making those runs. I don't think he's a brilliant player out in the middle of the pitch at times. He gets frustrated at times, but he makes the runs, and that's how he gets his goals. Great, probably example for any young player also.
18 goals for the season for Celtic, for Benjamin Negrin, and my goodness, they needed that, didn't they, just before the interval?
Yeah, that was incredible. Right on half time, and Hibs will be going in thinking, wow, how do we lose that goal? Because they were doing well and they were playing really well. They're working the ball through 1/3 of the pitch, a threat up front with Martin Boyle's pace. Celtic lots of possession at times, but a bit predictable going wide, and it's like a competition between the full or wing backs and the wide guys, and that's where the goal came from, obviously, with 2 or 3 good crosses from that wide area, a couple of headers that went off target, but the critical one was at that last goal, and it just sets them up now, to be honest. They'll hear probably the result from Livingston, and they know
it's just a scoreline.
Not the result, excuse me, but the scoreline. But that'll give them again more confidence to go out and try and get the second goal. But Hibs is a real threat, I've got to say. Played really well, I thought.
I know Michael was off headphones just for a moment or two. Are you back with us, Michael?
Indeed, yep.
You are indeed. Good. Right, how do you see the second half panning out? Hibernian, do they just crack on doing much as they have been doing?
Yeah, I would imagine it'll be very similar to what you've seen in the first half in regards to Celtic dominating the ball, but Hibs looking threatening. It's Packy and I were just talking there as half-time whistle was blown, and it was a good game, entertaining game. And you've got Hibs who the game plan's clear. They're difficult, obviously trying to make themselves difficult to break down. But when they do win the ball, they're springing quickly, and they've got that threat on the counter-attack, and they do it pretty well. It just feels like there are teams more capable now of actually making a fist of things when they come to the likes of Celtic Park, where trying to, obviously, you've got to always make yourself difficult to beat, but they're not just camped in with no ability or no prospect of getting up the park, and that dynamic's not going to change in the second half. It's going to be the same, that Celtic will have a lot of the ball. It's up to them to try and break Hibs down, and for Hibs, I think they've just got to be a little bit more clinical. There was a couple of opportunities that, if they'd been a little bit smarter or a little bit more accurate with things, they could have perhaps obviously had another attempt on goal. They did have a few. They had a few there. You think about the one where ball clipped over the top for Martin Boyle. Packy spoke about it during the game. Schmeichel does well. He stands up. He pushes Boyle a little bit wider than he really would have ideally wanted to go. But yes, it's an evenly balanced game here in the second half now.
Players starting to re-emerge at the two stadiums. Half times, of course. Celtic 1, Hibernian 1, Livingston 1, Rangers 0. We've got commentary from Armand Vale available on BBC Radio Scotland 810 medium wave. Get it on Radio Scotland Extra on BBC Sounds. That's Livingston against Rangers with Al Lamont and Kevin Thompson. On BBC Radio Scotland FM, on Radio Scotland Digital on BBC Sounds. Of course, both games online at bbc.co.uk/Sports Scotland. Celtic against Hibernian with Michael Stewart, Pat Bonner and Liam McLeod.
Scottish football lives here.
This is Sports Sound.
That is a beautiful finish!
From BBC Radio Scotland.
Welcome back to Armand Vale for the second half, just about to get underway. Rangers have made one change at the break. Bojan Majowski is on. It's Andreas Skov-Olsen who makes way for him for the second period in a second half in which Rangers desperately need a couple of goals to give them the victory and clearly keep Livingston out at the other end. But Livingston will have other ideas. They've been hugely impressive in that first half, and they will equally be looking to aid their cause at the foot of the table by, at the very least, clinging on to the 1-0 advantage they currently hold, or if not, expanding upon it. And you wouldn't put that past them, as Fernandes picks up possession in the early stages here at the back from Butland. No changes for Livy, as you'd probably imagine, given how well they played, as Chukwani feeds it forward looking for Chermiti, but off his line comes Jerome Prior, grabs that just at the edge of the box. Just in terms of that Rangers change, Kevin, it looks like Gassama's gone across to the right. Mikey Moore will pretty much play in that kind of left inside forward position with Majowski and Chermiti up front as a pairing almost.
Yeah, like a front two. Obviously Majowski, you can almost see there, he's probably the one that will do the work back the pitch slightly to play more like a 10, but also more than capable of leading the line. Mikey Moore obviously switched out to the left, Gassama on the right. Probably more like a traditional 4-4-2 really. I would suggest it's probably more a 4-2-4, the way Rangers will probably dominate the ball, or they did dominate the ball in the first half. So the width normally comes off of Romans, which we can just see here at the moment, so I don't see much changing, to be honest.
Here's Fernandes, well advanced, where he plays it back to the halfway line to Suter, out to Gassama, sort of centre right at the moment, plays it into the feet, or at least tries to play it into the feet of Mikey Moore, but a Livingston player nipped in and won it back, and now Finlayson works it down the right hand side for the impressive Smith. Cross comes Chukwani, robs him, pokes it back to Fernandes. Fernandes thinks about the back pass to Butland instead, turns and plays it to Romans, who's caught by Smith, and that will be a Rangers free kick midway inside their own half. Raskan looking to take it quickly. Rangers do need to up the tempo, Kevin, don't they, to just try and put Livingston under almost incessant pressure and build get the equaliser, and from their point of view try and get the winner.
Yeah, 75% possession. I was looking at the stats just half time, they're 15 shots and goals, so it's not as though they've not had final third entries, they've not had some sort of pressure, but I think the scoreline suggests you that how lackey quality the final part has been, and that's been the Achilles heel for Rangers at the moment, no doubt. Listen, I know that's obviously obvious, the game's 1-0, but it felt watching the game that there was a real lackey endeavour and imagination in that final third, almost huffing and puffing a wee bit. So I'm pretty sure Danny Rose gave them a wee sort of rocket, and I'll expect a wee bit more, especially in the final third.
Gassama's won a free kick over on the right hand side, midway inside the Livy half, and Tavernier's going to send this into the box by the looks of it, with plenty of Rangers players up in and around the penalty spot area, and it comes from Tavernier, a decent ball into the box, but it's knocked away by Muirhead. Romans will chase it across to the left hand side, and he'll take the throw in. Wanted Butland to come and get it from him, but Butland was staying back just outside his own area, and so now Tavernier has to come across and receive the throw in from Romans in this left hand side. Midway inside his own half, but bringing it forward and then trying to arrow it out towards Gassama. It looks like a good ball. If Gassama can keep it in, he maybe needed to get a touch on it earlier than he did, and Montagno's able to collect after Gassama had to back heel the ball to keep it in play. Knocks it back to McGowan, who goes long up to the halfway line. Muirhead and Fernandes contest it. It's going to be a Livy free kick for a foul there on Lewis Smith, just about on the halfway line, and all these little breaks in play will be ideal for Livy as they look to just kind of run down the clock and see out this victory if they possibly can. It would be an almighty message to send out to their relegation rivals. I think pretty much everyone has Livingston down already. If they could win this one, it would be such a boost to their confidence, and going into the split as well, you never quite know if they can be in touch with the likes of Kilmarnock and St Mirren, but Rangers will have something to say about that as Raskan tries to feed it forward for Chermiti. It's not a good ball from the Belgian at all, and Prior's able to get there long before Chermiti could. Picked up by Moore in the middle of the park, and Rascan once more will invite Tavernier to come forward. Right hand side out to Gassama. Montano tries to come out and meet him. Gassama steps away from him. Right hand side, can he get the cross in? Delays, allows Montano to get back at him. That's poor from Gassama, who had the opportunity to cross. Now Livingston can get it clear, and Muirhead's done brilliantly, and it's Smith bringing it forward. Rascan trying to get back with him. Still Lewis Smith bringing it down the left hand side. Challenge comes in from Rascan. Smith goes down, and Fernandez will pick up. It's a good break from Livy, but Rascan did well in the end. But Gassama over on that right hand side came, and he had the chance to get the ball in.
Yeah, just a bit frustrating really, as you mentioned. Great work for it.
That's a good ball forward, yeah. Chermiti into the box. Livingston trying to get numbers back. Chermiti back for Mikey Moore. Can he fashion the opportunity? It's Majowski. Oh, another brilliant save from Prior. He has been having the game of his life out there. As I suggested he might have to, and he's very much living up to that billing. Tipping that away. It was top corner bound from Majowski, and Prior claws it away, and it's going to be another Rangers corner.
I think that's 3 of the best saves I've seen out live. Unbelievable. What a game the goalkeeper's having. Really unlucky for Majowski. Just guides it. The way it was on the pass for Chermiti, just tries to guide it. And obviously with the wind, the difficult conditions, it's a wonderful save again for the goalkeeper.
Tavernier to take the corner as Rangers try to get the equaliser here. Back post ball, it's headed onto the roof of the net. Who did that come off last? A Livingston head, says the referee, and is behind for another corner as the Rangers fans rise and try to rouse their team here. They need the 3 points. It's a corner kick on the left hand side, on the right hand, Rangers right hand side, to be taken by the left footed Romans. Still 1-0 Livingston after 6.5 minutes of this second period. Glanced across goal, but no takers at the back post, and Livingston get the free kick in any case inside their own 6-yard box, and still Livingston hold on to their advantage. 1-0 they lead.
Yeah, real good ball out for Romans. Lovely left peg. I still think the ball can come in with a wee bit more speed. It's still a wee bit floaty, especially when you think how big this Rangers team is. Albeit, Livingston got big backline, but when you think of Fernandez, how effective he's been at set plays, real speed in the ball, make Livingston defend it. The one that actually comes that ended up the resulting corner, Pryor just has a wee flap at it. So obviously it is difficult conditions, which we obviously have to appreciate. But
Prior with a free kick then, over the halfway line. Chikwani nods it back forward. Majowski helps it on. Chermiti's been held there by Kabangolo. And Rangers will have the free kick here. Just about 10 yards or thereabouts inside the Livingston half. Still 1 apiece at Celtic Park between Celtic and Hibernian, as Rascan takes the free kick out to Roman's left hand side, leaves it to Moore. Moore up towards the edge of the penalty area on that left hand side, comes back onto the right foot. Now it's Rascan to the back post area. Tavernier rises, nods it down. It's going to be Majowski. He slips, and Livingston can come forward on the counter. It's Lewis Smith leading it, looking to try and find Robbie Muirhead. He manages to do that. He's trying to get beyond Suter, but Suter does enough to direct it back to Jack Butland, and it's still 1-0 Livingston after 53 minutes. Chermiti nods it down to Tavernier. Rangers still looking for an equaliser. It's Mikey Moore now up towards the edge of the penalty area, out to the left hand side. Romans across goals. Kabangolo meets it at the near post, and Livingston managed to get it back out of the box. Not for long. Chikwani though can't find Moore, and Danso's able to pick up and feed it down the right hand side. It's going to go out of play, and a Rangers throw in. Still not happening for the visitors. Sorry, Cameron, you go.
I was going to say, you can sense it though, Al, a wee bit. The crowd are getting behind Rangers. The noise is just ramping up.
Tavernier though, all the way across to Romans. Can he cut it back? Moore with a chance. It's blocked on the line again. Was it Prior that got there, or maybe Danso? Either way, Livingston keep it out of their own goal mouth, and Rangers pick up once more. It is ramping up. As Tavernier though takes a poor touch, and now it's Macaulay Tate over the halfway line. Suter's with him. Can he keep pace with him? It's Macaulay Tate still. Does Suter get the touch on the ball there? No, the referee's giving the free kick to Livingston out on that left touch line, and just almost right on the touch line. Livy will have an opportunity here from the set piece to add to their advantage, which they hold on the 54-minute mark, leading by a goal to 0.
That was real brilliant play out from Macaulay Tate. I never thought he quite had the legs to get there all the way. It's certainly an area that John Suter don't want to be defending. They channels isolated 1v1. Brilliant industrious work from Macaulay Tate, getting his team up the pitch, and as you mentioned, a real good area, especially when you consider Robbie Muirhead's left peg.
Well, it's not too dissimilar an area from which they got the only goal of the game so far. It is Muirhead left hand side into the near post. Rascan meets it, comes out to Danso. Danso's found Lewis Smith. Smith with the goal! Livingston have got two! And it's Lewis Smith who arrows it beyond Jack Butland to double their advantage. Another fabulous finish, and Livingston. What a scoreline we have here at Salmon Vale. Livingston 2, Rangers 0.
I cannot believe it, Al. Cannot believe it. It wasn't actually a good ball. Initially for Robbie Muirhead, cleared, slapped really to the edge of the box. But I cannot wait to watch this back, Al. I think it's Nico Raskin on the right side. When it lands at Danso, he plays a lovely wee reverse pass into Lewis Smith. And what a finish back across Jack Butland. Typical, Al. Defence comes out, second phase, nobody's picking up on the way out. Livingston capitalised, brilliant wee reverse pass, and a brilliant finish for Lewis Smith.
Fourth goal of the season for Lewis Smith has just given Livingston a massive shot in the arm as they look to make this great escape that we've all been talking about, but also puts a huge dent in Rangers' title ambitions. And they have just been working ever so hard, Livingston, but they have had quality when it counts in the final third. Something you can't say about Rangers this afternoon. And Rangers' unbeaten run is in real danger here. Celtic came from 2 goals behind to win at Rugby Park last Sunday, and Rangers need to come up with something equally as special to keep pace with Hearts at the top of the table. It hasn't looked likely, really, you'd have to say, as Rangers get the corner, I think, over on that far side. Yep, it's going to be a Rangers corner, but they desperately need to have a reaction, and quickly, or else this game is going to run away from them. 2-0 Livingston. Who had that in their coupon? As Romans prepares to take the corner kick from the right hand side into the 6-yard box, and it's Cavangolo wins it again. Moore returns it with a header that's going to go straight through to Jerome Prior. Comfortable take, and he's going to bowl it out for Macaulay Tate here, this time down the right hand side. Moore's trying to stay with him. Tate tried to switch that for Pittman. He gets it a bit wrong, and Butland claims it and immediately bowls it to Romans, who's currently over in the right back position. Back in field to Suter, and now Fernandez. I mentioned that Morton's long unbeaten run ended with a shock 3-2 victory over Graham Souness's Rangers back in '88. Is Livingston's long winless run going to end with a victory over the same opposition? As Roman's right hand side, forward for Rascan at the edge of the box, tries to nudge it back out to his right. Romans picks up once more, left-footed in towards the 6-yard box, but it's one of those floaty crosses that Kevin Thompson's been talking about, and it's an easy take for Prior. And we have played 13 minutes of this second half, and it's Livingston 2, Rangers 0.
Yeah, just no belief in it, Al, really. A real conviction in that cross, proper whipped into a real good area to allow people to go and attack it, but they also allow Livingston defenders to have to defend it. When it comes loopy and too close to the goalkeeper like that, all a waste of time.
Chermiti down, but Majolski can't get there ahead of Cavangolo. Livingston pick up in the middle of the park through Tate, and now McGowan for Cavangolo, closed down but gets the pass off to Tate, back to McGowan, out to the left hand side for Montano, into Pittman it goes, spins away from John Suter, and now he's got options here on the right hand side. One of them's Danny Finlayson, low ball, and it's a good ball, and Muirhead just can't stretch to knock that in at the back post. Thought about sliding in and then felt like he wasn't going to reach it anyway, and Rangers survive, but Livingston still a threat on the counter as they look to defend this 2-goal lead.
Oh, it's brilliant, Al, it really is. Pittman, I think he gets initially a wee bit lucky, just gets caught under his feet, and then he has a wee pirouette. It's a brilliant ball in for Danny Finlayson, just begging for somebody to attack the 6-yard box. Not sure if he just run out of steam a wee bit, Robbie Muirhead at the back post there, but it was an antagonising cross.
Fernandez looking to find Gassama. Now it's a foul on the edge of the box. What's the decision here? It could be a red. It is a red card. It's Christian Montano who's been shown it. It was a despairing tackle to try and stop Shady Gassama, and it's right on the edge as well. think it's going to be a free kick rather than the penalty. Difficult to tell right from this vantage point. We're quite far away from the action, but it looked like it was just outside. But nonetheless, Montano just caught on his heels slightly. It was a good ball from Fernandez. Gassama had made the run on the blind side, and Livingston reduced to 10. And well, they're in a good position certainly in the game, but with half an hour to play with 10 men, of course it'll be checked by VAR, but instinctively, Kevin, it looked like the correct decision from the referee.
Yeah, I thought the same, Al. Just because it's so close to the goal, there's such little margin of error to try and recover. As you mentioned, it's a brilliant run for Gassama, blind side for Montano. It's a great ball, a lovely wee threaded one. My initial thought, Al, was that he was going to be in a real, well, he's literally a yard away from the penalty box. He was going to control it and he was going to get his shot off. I couldn't see any other than a real goal scoring opportunity, so I'm not so sure it'll be overturned. I don't see the Livingston bench, Marvin, Hastings down there, I don't see them having a real go at the fourth official as if they think it's going to be overturned.
The referee certainly listening to David Dickinson, who's on VAR. It's definitely outside the box. I'm seeing a replay here, so no question about it being a penalty, but Christian Montano will hope that there is a reprieve here, but I'm not sure how likely that is.
I think it might have been Ryan McGowan that was just inside, but they almost looked as a normal back line should look. They were almost playing like in a straight line, obviously for the offside. But
red card's confirmed, and Rangers will have a free kick on the edge of the box, and well, Montano is applauded off, but he's sided down to 10 men for the closing half hour, and Rangers need to try and take advantage of that if they are to keep their title hopes alive, you would imagine. And then they could really do with scoring from this free kick. Livingston looking to keep them at bay though. Tavernier is over it. It's right hand side of the penalty area. It's Tavernier who goes for it, takes a little nick on its way through and glances wide. Not sure who it came off in the wall, but regardless, it was probably a crucial touch, and Rangers will have the corner as we're going to get a change here for Livingston, looking to just counteract the loss of that player there. Babacar Fati is going to come on for the man who scored the second goal. You identified him pre-match as a key man for Livy, and Lewis Smith has been absolutely terrific, Kevin.
Yeah, he's been brilliant. So much speed out. He takes his goal terrifically well. Lovely left peg. He's been a real threat for Rangers. Yeah, they've had to suffer at times, but when the ball turns over, he's been catalyst for that counter-attack. It's a shame that he's had to come off for Livingston, because when Rangers start to push the space down the sides of them, you could argue that he could be even more effective, but obviously Marv having to shuffle the pack, and now it's probably hands to the pump for Livingston. They're probably going to need to play on the edge of the box and defend for their lives for these next 30 minutes.
Yeah, it's a corner to Rangers. It's taken short on the left hand side. It's Moore and Tavernier. They've got an overload here. Back to Tavernier to the back post. Rangers hoping for another corner, but the referee says no, it's goal kick. So it's Babacar Fati, who's just come back from an injury. He played 3 games after making made his debut against Aberdeen, having signed in January from Finnish football. And Marvin Bartley will be hoping he can make a decent impact. He'll probably have a lot of defending to do, as he replaces Lewis Smith, the scorer of the second Livingston goal. It's Livingston 2, Rangers 0 with just under half an hour to play. Chermiti coming down the left for Rangers. Gets aside another corner kick here. At some stage, Rangers are going to have to make this pressure tell. They're going to make another change here. Rangers, Ryan Naderi is going to come on, and it's Chukwani who's making way. So it's another attacking change for Rangers as they prepare to take the corner kick. Tavernier to the near post. This time it's glanced all the way through, but no further Rangers players at the back post to take advantage. So Danso clears up towards the halfway line. Romans heads it forward. Here's Naderi getting on the ball for the first time. Just knocks it back to Gassama, right hand side. Back to Naderi on that right flank, and Ganzo gets across well, plays it off Naderi and behind for a goal kick. Still just over 25 to play. Livingston 2, Rangers 0. It's one apiece between Celtic and Hibs at Celtic Park. Two scorelines that will delight the Hearts fans amongst you, no doubt. We'll be wary of the 25 minutes still to come as Prior takes the goal kick up to the halfway line. Finlayson can't quite get anything on it. Naderi just wins it from Tate, and now it's Gassama. Tavernier goes ahead of him. Gassama slides it forward. He's put too much on it. The Rangers fans are furious. Gassama offers the apology to Tavernier, but the quality's got to be better at this stage.
Yeah, you can sense the frustration. Just a real lack of quality, really, for Gassama. Someone that's got so much talent. It almost looks to me like he's playing with a wee lack of belief.
Looked like a foul throw there from Fatty, but he gets away with it. As the ball's played over the halfway line, Fernandez will just knock that back to Jack Butland, who immediately plays it back out to Fernandez here on this left-hand side, bringing it up to the halfway line. Rangers trailing by 2-0. Lost just twice in the Premiership already this season, as Gassama again tries to play it forward to Tavernier, and this time he plays it straight to Fatty instead, and the Rangers fans not liking it. Gassama's confidence taking a bit of a battering, you feel. This time he has picked the pass to Fernandez. Fernandez straight forward for Mikey Moore at the edge of the box. Rangers need a bit of inspiration from the likes of Moore, and then Fernandez has knocked it straight behind to the delight of the Livingston fans round about us. And Rangers are suffering out there as Marvin Bartley looks like he's going to make another change. But it's been a real off day for Rangers so far, Kevin.
Yeah, listen, if you've ever had a time in a season out where you're going to be tested, personality, character, you know, all these things that you need, especially to go over the line with it being so tight. Your competitors winning yesterday, your arch rivals across the city, drawing obviously at the moment, but if you don't take care of your own business, then unfortunately you cannot worry about anyone else.
Danso doing well in the middle of the park. Macaulay Tate has gone down, but play continues as Prior finds only Tavernier as Olivier about to make a couple of changes. Silla and May coming on. It's into the box for Naderi, right hand side across goal. Somehow it's kept out again on the line. It's brilliant defending from Danny Finlayson, I think it was. It got there, but Chermiti lurking at the back post looked like he was about to turn it in, but Finlayson got enough on it, and it's only a corner for Rangers, who still trail by 2-0. I
don't know why that's not ended up in the net. Brilliant play for Danny Finlayson, better for Gassama, brilliant for Naderi.
And it comes to the 6-yard box. Prior with a good fist, only as far here as Romans. Romans back out to the left-hand side to Moore. Moore will curl it back in to the danger area. A brilliant take by Prior, though, takes all the pressure off his defence. And at the midway point in the second half, with Livingston about to make a triple change, Jeremy Bukila is also going to come on here. They still lead by 2-0 on the bottom side. And down to 10 men after Christian Montagno's red, as Fernandez and Romans try to decide between them who's going to take charge here. It's played forward by Romans for Chermiti. Majowski can't make anything of it. It's an offside flag up anyway, and Livingston will have the free kick, and that will allow them to make the changes just now. I think well, certainly Silla and May are ready to come on. It might even be as many as Bakila's got the training top off, but he sat back down in the dugout, and it might be a different change they're going to make beyond those first two that I named. But Bakila certainly sat back down, so it might be Joel Newbley who's going to come on for his first appearance in his second stint, and he's caused Rangers problems in the past. The Rangers causing enough problems of their own, self-inflicted ones at this stage. Newbley's got the shout for whatever reason. Bakila had the training top off, was ready to come on, but it's going to be May, Newbley and Silla as Muirhead though prepares to take a throw in on this near side. Into the Rangers penalty area it comes. Raskin left it, and Wilson picks up possession. Now Finlayson feeds it into the back post. Cabangolo's up there. They'll go and try and keep it alive here under pressure from Tavernier. Tavernier just got a little touch on it. It's out for a Livy throw in. Still 2-0 Livingston.
It's real cute play, Al, for Livingston. You know, taking their time, and rightly so. You know, to take the throw-ins, not loading the box too much, albeit the big lads are up, but secure behind the ball. Great ball in for Danny Finlayson. Marvin will be delighted. You know, you talk about game management and being clever and being cute, being streetwise. Livingston are certainly doing that just now.
It's been a terrific performance, and they're in the Rangers penalty area, and Muirhead just trying to manufacture a shooting opportunity, couldn't quite do so, but Rangers haven't got it fully clear. Now Raskin should be able to do that, and he gets it forward over the halfway line, and Chermiti will give chase. McGowan knocks it back to his goalkeeper. He's done well, and Prior picks it up. It looked like it might have been a pass back, but McGowan gets away with that.
I don't know where it hit that for Ryan McGowan. I thought when it was in the sky and it was coming down, it would become a leg race. I thought, oh no, here we go. He's done brilliant, Ryan McGowan. I'm not so sure if it maybe actually just come off his shin or...
Yeah, possibly. Raskin penalised in the middle of the park, and nothing seemingly going Rangers' way just at the moment with just 20 minutes to play. They might be up against just 10 men, but they've not really created all that much since having that advantage, and they're looking for a minimum 2 goals here. As Telo Asgar looks like he's going to come on for Rangers as we wait to see who's coming off for Livy. One of them is going to be Macaulay Tate, as Mo Silla, who scored here against Rangers earlier in the season, prepares to come on. Danso as well, looks like he is going to be making way here. And final change is Robbie Muirhead. But rightfully so, the Livingston fans applauding all 3 players off, because it has been a terrific effort thus far, and they have all played their part. As Robbie Muirhead is the last one to make his way off, and Joel Newbley will come on, having re-signed, having returned from Chinese football after a couple of years out there, and he was a big hero, a big talisman for Livingston in his previous spell. Let's see what he can produce here this afternoon with just about 20 to play. Suter gets his head to the free kick at the edge of the box. Finlayson next to it, but it'll be picked up by Fernandez, right hand side. Plays the early ball forward, looking for Gassama. It's off Fatty and out for a Rangers throw, and as Asgar prepares to come on, Rangers take the throw in quickly, though, back to Tavernier, right hand side, midway inside the Livy half. Gets it back from Raskin. Here's Gassama once more, about 15 yards from the corner flag. Plays it forward for Raskin. Raskin almost at the byline, plays it off Pittman, and behind for another Rangers corner. Rangers have had plenty of corners, plenty of possession in the attacking third, but they've done precious little with it thus far. What can they do here as Romans goes across to take this corner kick? Gassama goes and offers himself short. Straight into the area though, and again it's a Livingston head that wins it, and it's Pittman who gets second ball as well. Picked up by Moore at the edge of the box. Can he get the shot off here? Leaves it to Tavernier instead. Livingston quickly out to try and meet him. Fernandez gets it across goal, but it's Livy who pick up, and Finlayson just batters the ball forward and out of play, and that allows Rangers to make the change, and it's going to be John Suter coming off and Telo Asgar coming on, and it's another attacking change. They need goals, they're going to have to take chances, albeit they're against 10 men, but we've got plenty of attacking players on the field of play now as Gassama picks up good control from Tavernier's forward ball, but he's well challenged there by Stevie May, who then goes down under Gassama's challenge, wins Livingston the free kick. It's brilliant play again, this time from Stevie May.
Yeah, I have to say, Al, Livingston, when it comes to duels and body contact and, you know, winning the 50-50s, you know, you could argue Stevie May there was second favourite to Gassama, you know, under control after a good first touch, but, you know, tenacious, right up for it, sleeves rolled up. Marvin must be absolutely delighted. Listen, I know there's still a long way to go. I certainly wouldn't rule Rangers out, but to a man, Livingston, you mentioned the 3 ones that come off there, Al. You know, I thought Macaulay Tate was absolutely superb.
Here's Mikey Moore coming forward. Chermiti's up to try and help him. Moore turns inside. Finlayson plays it behind a couple of Rangers teammates. Not sure what he was thinking there, and it's gone behind for a Livingston goal kick as they get closer and closer to what would be a momentous victory. They're looking for just a 4th win over Rangers in their history, and it would be a very good time to get it, certainly from their perspective, as they try and avoid relegation. Coming into this one, 9 below Kilmarnock. Kelly wouldn't have been counting on a Livingston win today, as Prior takes the goal kick over the halfway line, nodded down there by Naderi on the right hand side, flicked on now by Gassama. It's Chermiti picking up, tries to play it through for Moore, gets the break of the ball there, Chermiti, but couldn't do anything with it, and Silla manages to clear up towards the halfway line. Chermiti thinks about what to do here, Nubly closing him down. Asgar's there to help him out, back with Fernandez just inside his own half, and now it's Tavernier clipping it to the left hand side. Not sure any Rangers player is going to be able to catch that, and it's behind again for a Livy goal kick. And this is not the type of display of a team that looks like they're going to win the title, Kevin Thompson.
I'm honestly actually scratching my head a wee bit, Al, how many misplaced passes and unforced errors, really. You know, the Mikey Moore one just before that, passing it straight out for a by kick. James Tavernier overhitting one there, straight out for a by kick. You know, so many careless turnovers, really, and you know, not a tactical thing. I was looking at Big Shermiti just earlier. I think he slipped 3 or 4 times. I understand the surface, I totally do. I'm not naive, but you know, it's certainly not been Rangers' day today. After, as you mentioned, at half-time, I thought they started reasonably well, you know, in the ascendancy. No doubt the goal took the stuffing out of them, but they've had a real lack of quality all over the pitch today, Rangers, which has been disappointing to see for how well the team have done and the plaudits that they've had in recent times after a brilliant performance last week against Hearts.
Well, this is the thing, isn't it? If you're going to go and beat one of your title rivals with a really impressive performance one week, you really have to back it up by beating the bottom of the league side the next week. Otherwise, you probably don't deserve to be title winners, as Cammy Kerr is going to come on, I think, for Danny Finlayson, who's down receiving a bit of treatment right now.
Yeah, one thing's for sure, Al, people don't give you titles for nothing. You need to earn them, you need to work for them, and the table doesn't lie. You know, Hearts are at the top of it for a reason. They've had a superb season. I thought the big two chasing them looked like they were going to close the gap. Well, they have to close the gap, but I thought Hearts were there to be shot at, but they keep on maintaining that lead, so fair play to them.
Yeah, absolutely. That's applause for Danny Finlayson in the background. You can hear as he is replaced by Cammy Kerr for the closing stages here. It's Livingston 2, Rangers 0, 13 minutes of the 90 remaining. Livingston are down to 10 men after Montano was red carded for denying an obvious goal scoring opportunity, but there's been some brilliant saves, you'd have to say, from Jerome Prior, but there's another misplaced pass, this time from Raskan. Straight out of play over on the far side. Rangers really just trying to force it at the moment, and it's beginning to tell. Still one apiece at Celtic Park between Celtic and Hibs, but Rangers here losing by 2-0 against Livingston. And the goals coming in either half, one from Cabangolo first half, and then Lewis Smith adding to that second period. As Rangers' title hopes are going to take a real blow here unless they can come up with something in these final stages here. It's Mikey Moore, plays it infield to Fernandez. Everyone forward for Rangers. Fernandez goes for goal. Well, it didn't miss by all that much, I don't think, but it's hugely ambitious. But I suppose when you've not been able to manufacture much by building the play, you're going to eventually resort to shots from distance. It didn't come off for Rangers, and it's still Livingston 2, Rangers 0.
He certainly got behind it, Al, that was for sure. Big Fernandez. It probably sums up Rangers' attack at the moment. You know, with Livingston being down to 10 men, with so many attacking players on the pitch, Asgard another one to add into that mix. A real lack of imagination and invention in that final third for Rangers.
Going to bring another attacking player on in the shape of Nadeem Bayrami as they try and find the guile required. And it's going to be Gassama to come off in these closing stages. Bayrami will come on. Can they find at bare minimum a couple of goals to take something from this game? It's a game they would have come into feeling that the 3 points were there for the taking. But Livingston have had other ideas and have been quite superb, you'd have to say. As Tavernier feeds it forward, it's going to come for Chermiti. Chermiti, right hand side of the box, tries to cut it back. Chance here, and Mikey Moore can't finish it, but it's still alive. Asgar's there, left hand side of the box. Livingston working hard to try and keep Rangers out still. Mikey Moore at the angle. Romans comes on in the overlap, plays it infield. Shot at goal comes in from Bayrami. Silla's in the way. Austin Trusty's been red carded at Celtic Park. They're down to 10 as Hibs look for the victory. Silla's going to be needing a bit of treatment here as he got in the way of that fierce effort from Bayrami. And Livingston still holding on to the 2-goal advantage. Sometimes, Kevin, there was a point at which you felt Rangers' pressure was mounting, that the goal was coming. I'm not sure I sense that now.
Yeah, I thought that out, to be honest. I thought they were starting to turn the screw. You could sense the crowd were, the anticipation that the ball was eventually going to land with some sort of quality and they were going to get back in the game, but they've huffed and puffed. I cannot for the love of me think how many times they've turned the ball over. Mo Silla getting treatment there, Al, again, I think it was his sliding tackle in the middle of the penalty box there to thwart another attack for Rangers. But I don't know if it's a belief thing, a personality thing. Listen, the team's had a lot of plaudits recently and the crowd have got right behind them, there's no doubt about that. But when you see like a Gassama, almost getting cheered off, it probably tells you, because I'm his biggest fan, Gassama. I think he's a real talent, but he's certainly not had a day to remember.
Here's Raskan, plays it square for Tavernier. Tavernier just lets it run past him. Stevie May makes the sliding challenge. Still it's Tavernier, sends it in. Chermiti can't make anything of it. Headed clear. May picks up it. He's lost it on the byline. Flashed across goal. Claims for a handball. Breaks to Fernandes. What a goal that is from Fernandes. Rangers have got one back. Smashes it in from 16 yards. Fabulous finish from Manny Fernandes. Although the referee, there's an injury. I think it's Ryan McGowan who's down, but I'm sure the goal is still being given. Didn't seem to be anything wrong. I think maybe McGowan took the cutback initially in the body, and it came back to Manny Fernandes, who lashed it goalwards. And with about 9 minutes of the 90 remaining, Rangers have a goal back. Is that the start of the turnaround, or can Livingston hold on? It's Livingston 2, Rangers 1.
It's a brilliant finish, Al. This place has just erupted. I said I wouldn't rule Rangers out. I just felt if they did get that goal, albeit they've been really poor, especially in the final third, but he had one that just flew over the crossbar for 25 yards. Fernandes, he's chipped in with some big goals, but that was an absolute rocket.
Certainly was. So back to just a goal deficit as Manny Fernandes gets his 6th goal of the season. And now Rangers will try and put further pressure on Livingston to grab at least an equaliser. Here's Fernandes, the goal scorer. Tavernier now. Rangers trailing by 2-1 now, as it's picked up by Barami. Back in field to Tavernier. Fernandes once more. Mikey Moore at the angle of the box, plays it further to his left to Romans in a well advanced area. Back in field to Fernandes once more. Dinks in towards the back post, and rising was Majowski, but it's a pretty tame header, an easy take for Jerome Prior, and it remains into that 7 to play.
Or wasn't well into the floaty ones, not coming in any real intent or any real power on the cross. All too easy to deal with, really.
2-1 Livy. 10 men Livy. Montagno sent off by Rami, right hand side. Looks like it'll be Prior's ball again, under a bit of pressure there from Maderi, and he takes it well, the Frenchman. Beaten for the first time. There was absolutely no chance, despite his miraculous saves earlier in the game. There was no way he was going to keep out the Fernandes effort, but if they do hold on to the victory, he will have played a massive part in it for sure, as Tavernier just nods it back to Jack Butland and then gets the ball back. The Rangers fans urging their side forward once more into Raskan on the halfway line. Back to Tavernier, right hand side. Livingston trying to shut off the angles. Forward it goes to Bayrami on the right flank. Back to Tavernier. Crossing opportunity here for Tavernier. Sends it into a decent area. It's headed away by Cabangolo. Newbley picks up at the edge of the area. Stays composed. Tries to hold on to it, but he's been dispossessed. The referee stopped play for a head knock. The Rangers fans aren't happy, but he's got to do that. The referee, by the protocols, if there's a head knock and there's 2 players down, Prior's down, and there's a defender down holding his head, he has absolutely no choice. It will be a drop ball in Rangers' favour when it restarts, or at least it should be. But it's attention required as Livingston try to hold on for a precious 3 points. And Rangers equally looking to earn a point for themselves, which might prove to be a good point. But certainly they would have come here looking for all three. Still one apiece at Celtic Park, but Celtic down to 10 men with Trusty ordered off. The referee is going to restart the game here and give it back to Rangers. It's going to be Romans who'll pick up about 25 yards from the Livingston goal. Can Rangers find an equaliser? It's Mikey Moore here, plays it square to Tavernier. Can he take the shot on? Brilliantly charged down there by Silla. Breaks out to the right hand side for Bayrami, comes back into the area. Good defending from Ryan McGowan. Livingston will pick up here through Cammy Kerr, gets them up the park a little bit, closed down by Raskan, helps it on. Pittman's made the run, Tavernier's back with him. Tavernier's going to get there just ahead of Pittman. He's dragged to the ground. Rangers free kick just outside their own penalty area, quickly taken. Rangers are in a hurry, they've got just under 5 to play. The ball was moving, says the referee. The free kick will have to be taken again, and it is. There'll be a bit of time added on at the end, so Rangers probably get just a bit more than 5 to at least find an equaliser. Here's Asgar now, midway inside the Livy half, back to Raskan, now Tavernier out to Bayrami once more, right hand side, into Tavernier again, about 35 yards from goal, plays it square here to Romans to Mikey Moore. Can Rangers find a leveller? It's Moore, can he find the space to shoot? Comes back to Raskan, who's gone for goal, but it's straight at Jérôme Prior, who'll go down and take as long as he possibly can to release this one. And it's still Livingston 2, Rangers 1, with 3.5 to play in the 90. Livingston trying to come forward. Bayrami though just gets in the way of the pass that was intended for May, knocks it out of play over on the far side. Livingston again not in a hurry. You can totally understand their thinking. The referee stopping them taking the throw in from the wrong place, so that probably plays into their hands as Fatty eventually takes it down the left. Newbley can only nod it out of play. It'll be a Rangers throw in now midway inside their own half, taken by Tavernier for Fernandez. Marvin Batley trying to ensure his team stay disciplined, stay in their shape as they look to see this result out. It's Roman's left hand side, met by Cabangolo, will come across the box to Bayrami. He fires it back in, it's blocked. Tavernier now at the edge, back out to Bayrami, right hand side. Livingston holding on here, back to Tavernier, into the area. That's in! It's Mikey Moore who's got the last touch, I think. It's Tavernier sent it in. If it took a touch off Mikey Moore, it was the slightest of touches. And Rangers have hauled themselves level from 2 goals down. As Chermiti's shown a yellow card for trying to get the ball back, so is Prior for trying to hold on to it. Rangers are level from 2 down, it's 2 apiece. And maybe, just maybe, there's time for a winner.
Wow. I think it was Bajrami, one at the cross that comes in. It looked like Raskin, Mikey Moore, they wear the low socks with the white boots. Unbelievable. And by the way, I wouldn't rule out a winner here, that's for sure.
Well, what a game this has been. What a season it's been. And this just really typifies that. It underlines the quality. The referee has just been having a word there with his 4th official before restarting the game here, but we are back underway. We've got 90 seconds left in the 90 minutes. There will be a bit of added on time. It's Livingston 2, Rangers 2. Livingston led by 2-0. They were reduced to 10 men, and Rangers have managed now to claw both goals back, but Newbley goes down and earns his side a free kick in a good area. And when I said maybe there'll be a winner, maybe there'll be a winner for Livingston.
Yeah, I wouldn't rule that out either, to be honest. Brilliant play for Newbley. Not just a wee slide down the side for Cammy Kerr. It just shows you they're going to put it in the box, and rightly so. I don't think a point, albeit a point before the game, I'm no doubt that Marvin would have been delighted with that, but when you find yourselves 2-0 up, albeit down to 10 men, this could be a valuable 3 points if Livingston can nick something.
Stevie May from the right hand side is a couple of yards in from the touchline. Can Livingston increase the drama here in the dying moments? It's a good ball in, it's headed out towards the edge of the box, comes to Fatty. Can he get the shot off? He can. That did not miss by much. Oh, that was close, as Rangers try and get the game restarted as quickly as possible. 2-2 it stands, one each at Celtic Park between Celtic and Hibs. Oh, it's 2-1 Hibs actually, as Bayrami feeds it forward. Cammy Kerr gets his head to it. Pittman helps it on. Stevie May now, beaten to it by Bayrami. Silla though picks up possession, but he's lost it to Raskan. Can Rangers find a late winner? Poor ball from Raskan. McGowan knocks it back to his goalkeeper. We're just waiting on the fourth official's board to see how long will be added on. What's that, 5? 9 minutes! Where on earth did they get 9 minutes from? I cannot believe, I've never seen, I just cannot fathom that at
Obviously
all.
the subs now, but obviously Danny Finlayson was down, one of the Pryor's been down obviously a wee bit, but I thought 5 or 6 possibly.
Here's Mikey Moore running at the Livingston box, having scored the equaliser into the near post, blocked by Pittman. Moore sends it to the back post this time, half cleared by Fatty to Tavernier. Rangers have got time now. Can they manufacture a winner? Bayrami into the box. Fernandes can't get there. In fact, he's fouled his man, and Livingston will have a free kick at the edge of the 6-yard box. Well, 9 minutes of injury time. I mean, I honestly cannot believe that. I know we've seen a lot added on in recent times, but well, we'll see if either side can make anything of it. But you imagine certainly that number when it went up would have been a sight for sore eyes in terms of the Rangers supporters, the players. There's another stoppage here, so it's going to be beyond the 9 minutes, as the Livingston defender Cavangolo, who got us underway with the goal scoring, is helped to his feet. So 2-1 Hibernian at Celtic Park. I didn't get the goal scorer for that one, but the Rangers fans have certainly got wind of it. As Prior takes the free kick over the halfway line. Can Livingston hold on for a point? It's got to be the least they deserve, you would have to say, over the course of the 90 odd minutes. Here's Stevie May on the halfway line, tracked by Fernandes, trying to hold on to it. It's Fatty feeding it forwards. Tavernier's in the way, but Stevie May's pinched it, or he thought he had. Kai Andrews is the Hibs goal scorer, incidentally, to make it 2-1 at Celtic Park. They're playing against 10 men as well, as are Rangers, as they come forward here through Bayrami, right hand side, looking to win it late on here, having hauled themselves off the canvas with 2 second half goals, trailing 2-0. But Moore now trying to weave his way between a couple of players, but Newbley was having none of it, and he'll try and bring it forward. Moves away from Moore down the right hand side. Joel Newbley challenged by Romans. He's won it back for Rangers. Moore now into Chermiti, out to the left to Romans, leaves it to Asgar. Asgar about 25 from goal, chips it into the penalty area, chested down, but Stevie May will get there first, and the referee says it was a handball inside the box by a Rangers player and awards a free kick to Livingston. Such drama here at Amon Vale, such drama over the course of the season in this superb Premiership campaign that we've had. And if things stay as they are, it's been a wonderful afternoon for Hearts, a wonderful weekend after their victory over Falkirk, as Prior takes the free kick over the halfway line. Romans now heads it forward. Chermiti will keep it in, tries to play it back in field for Moore. Cammy Kerr's in the way. Asgar helps it back forward for Majowski, just helps it over the top. Mikey Moore could be in here, edge of the box, challenge comes in. Did that take the ball? The referee has a look, says yes he did. Well, if that is a fair challenge, it's an absolutely brilliant one, as Mikey Moore bore down on goal. He'll be checked by VAR, of course. Actually not sure who got back to make that challenge.
I think it's Cammy Kerr out in the right back area.
It's a sensational challenge if he's made that cleanly, Kevin.
It's unbelievable. Risk, when you think you risk and reward. Mikey Moore tracking down on goal. Brilliant tackle. I don't know how he's managed to get his leg round Cammy Kerr. But what a tackle, because he was destined to get his shot off Mikey Moore.
We're right behind it, so we can't tell from this angle if he took the ball cleanly, but if he did, it's an unbelievable challenge to deny what would have been a clear sight of goal for Mikey Moore again as he tried to find the winner. The referee is just waiting on VAR, David Dickinson, to have a look at it and make sure it was a good challenge, as the referee felt it was at the time. If it's not, it will be potentially, again, I couldn't tell if it was just inside or just outside the box, so we'll have to wait and see on that front. Just about to see it. That looks like it is a good challenge, actually.
I thought it was just outside the box out. I just thought Cammy Kerr, he's hit Mikey Moore's leg first.
No, maybe not. Yeah. The referee might have to come and have a look at that.
I don't think it'll be a penalty. I think it's outside the box, but you can just see the contact on Mikey Moore's left leg with Cammy's leading leg to make the tackle. I think this will be overturned out, and it will be at least a free kick. I don't know what consequences Cammy Kerr will face.
Well, if it was inside the box, it would probably be a yellow card, because it would go down as making a genuine attempt for the ball, even though he's denied an obvious goal-scoring opportunity. Oh, it's so close to the edge of the box, and it's so difficult to tell. If it is inside, he would probably get away with a yellow as a result of that, but it would be a penalty. Clearly, if it's outside the box, it might well go down as denying an obvious goal-scoring opportunity, and it would be another red. But the delay goes on as David Dickinson continues to check it. We're getting a couple of angles here. It's almost impossible to tell. It's actually, I can't 100% tell if he gets the ball first or not. So that's probably also taking a time for the officials to decide.
It was the angle that we seen initially, obviously on the screen next to us. It was the one for behind the goal looking forward, and you can see Cammy Kerr's leg. His left foot, leading with his left foot, hits Mikey Moore's left leg, almost somewhere in the middle of his shin, just on the side of his calf. And I would suggest that if he hit him first.
Oh, it's play on.
Oh, wow.
Well, so goodness knows how long we've got left to play, because there have been so many delays within stoppage time. But here come Rangers again. It's Bayrami right hand side, up against Stevie May, gets to the byline, back into the box, headed away by a Livingston defender. Tavernier picks up, slips, but still has possession, just rolls it back to Raskan, who's the last player back for Rangers. Tavernier once more sends it into a decent area. Kamangolo gets his head to it. Chermiti battling away, and he's fouled his man, and it's going to be a Livingston free kick inside the area, and time running out. We've played almost 7 minutes of the 9 originally added on, but there's going to be, I would guess, maybe another 5 potentially to be added on beyond that. So it's really anyone's guess, but we've had lengthy delays within stoppage time to add to the slightly surprising 9 minutes that were originally added on. You surprised though that wasn't, ended up just being a play on effectively?
It was only that angle, Alan. Obviously when it gets slowed down, listen, I thought it was an unbelievable tackle for Cammy Kerr initially. The Livingston players never looked in any sort of animosity, thinking it was going to be a penalty. I was looking at the Livingston bench, they never looked like there was any animosity either. They've obviously got the screens in front of them. It was just that angle that I thought Cammy Kerr, he hit Mikey Moore's leg before he obviously got a touch on the ball, but sometimes luck favours the brave, but certainly one that the Rangers will feel aggrieved by when they look back. It'll be interesting to hear Mikey Stewart's take on that one, Al.
I never look forward to hearing his take on anything, to be quite honest with you. But Stevie May's got a free kick here for Livy on the right hand side, about 10 yards inside the Rangers half. Arrows it into the box. Livingston looking for a late winner themselves. Tavernier heads half clear. Silla will pick up left hand side. 2-2 it stands deep in stoppage time as Majowski keeps it from going behind for a corner, but Silla's picked up for Livy. Wilson beaten to it there by Naderi, and Rangers will have a free kick deep in their own half. They need to get it moving, and they have done. It's Tavernier's shot to Raskan. Raskan coming forward over the halfway line. Rangers still need to keep composed. They need to pick the passes correctly to find the winning goal. It's Tavernier out to Bayrami right hand side. Another crossing opportunity. Brilliant clearance by Kabangolo to knock out for a throw on the far side.
He has been unbelievable, Al. He has been, I'm no joke, there's some of the if you could clip his clearances today, his goal, he has been absolutely sensational, the big centre back.
Rangers come again. It's Raskan, but he's blocked through Fatty, and Oscar miles over the top. Really rash effort from the Norwegian international. We've played the 9 minutes of stoppage time originally allotted. Marvin Bartley's asking the question, but clearly there's got to be further time added on for the VAR check and the injury to Finlayson it was, who was down for a spell in stoppage time. As Livingston have got themselves a goal kick here, which Prior is not in a rush to take. Eventually he does so up towards the halfway line. Newbley's the target. It's finished at Celtic Park. It's finished Celtic 1, Hibernian 2. Newbley's done brilliantly. He's got his side a throw in here, right in front of Marvin Bartley's dugout. Welcome to listeners who have been tuned into that Celtic Hibernian game. It's Livingston 2, Rangers 2 in a quite remarkable game here. We are miles into stoppage time. We've played 10 minutes of it, and there's still a few minutes to play, I would imagine, because of a VAR check that lasted a few minutes just a couple of moments ago. It didn't lead to anything in the end, as Rangers wondered whether they might have a penalty or whether there might be a red card for Cammy Kerr. In the end, it was neither. Rangers have come from 2 goals down in this game to be level at 2 apiece. They need a third, though, to take all 3 points clearly, as Mikey Moore plays it square to Romans. Now it's Osgaard at the angle of the box, left hand side, plays it square to Raskan. Raskan to Bayrami on the right angle of the box. Still Livingston trying to hold firm. Bayrami back to Raskan. They need to find a meaningful pass here at the end of this. It's Bayrami into the box, knocks it back for Tavernier. Tavernier with a low cross, a poor one, headed away by Pittman, gathered by Asgard. The Livingston fans want the final whistle. Asgard back into towards the back post, and Bayrami was offside as he tried to meet that in the run, and it's a free kick to Livingston. We have played now 11 minutes of stoppage time. I would imagine there might be a minute or two still to play because of the length of that VAR stoppage just a few moments ago. Livingston led in the first half, a wonderful Cabangolo volley after 14 minutes, added to by Lewis Smith on 56 as he arrowed it past Jack Butland. There's the full-time whistle though. It's all over, and Rangers have come back to earn themselves a point in a game that they would surely have been looking for all 3. Livingston out on their feet out there after an incredible effort over the course of the 100 plus minutes that we played here. They are good value for at least that point. They thought they were going to win it, but in the end Rangers stuck to their task and got the goals back in the last 10 minutes of the 90 as Fernandez initially lashed in to reduce the deficit before Mikey Moore glanced a header into the back of the net to make it 2 apiece. Well, an absolute load of added on time at the end of this, but it wasn't to be for either side in the end. I'm not sure a point does either of their causes any great help, but in the end they'll probably both take it. Livingston clinging on to some extent at the end, Rangers having to claw themselves back from 2 goals down. Another fascinating game in the most fascinating of seasons in the Scottish Premiership. It finishes at Avon Vale. Livingston 2, Rangers 2.